Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome to oneminutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about how to get the absolute most out of your tennis game. And to do this, I suggest that you implement a strategy that I call the ACE system. Now, it's really common in tennis coaching for players to turn around to the coach or trainer and say, "Hey, Steve, why did I miss that shot?" And they're expecting some detailed analysis of the technique. You know, you should have bent your knees more or keep your head down or whatever. But very often the answer is, sometimes it's just about being sensible or smart on the tennis court. So I break down how to apply and use your game to its maximum capacity as awareness, choice, execution, ACE. The first thing is that you've got to be aware of where you are on the court. If you're not aware of the situation you're in, then how do you know whether to defend, attack or whatever? And it might seem very simple, but for many players, they're not truly aware of where they are on the court unless they're right at the baseline or right at the net. The middle areas can be a bit of a mystery to them. The next thing is that if you're aware of your situation on the court, then you've got to make the right choices. And only if you are aware of your situation and surroundings and you're making the right choices should you study the execution as to whether the technique is what's causing the success or failure of your game. So I'm going to break the court down into three general areas. We'll keep it really simple. One is behind the baseline. The second one is between the baseline and the service line, and the third one is around the service line or forwards of the service line. So we've got three areas that we need to be aware of, and now we're going to have three choices that we're going to talk about for those three areas. So in the first area, behind the baseline, then we have a simple choice to make in that area, and that is do not hit winners. You see, even if your game's on fire and you rip that backhand from a couple of meters behind the baseline and it goes for a fantastic clean winner, pretty much always at every level of tennis, then if you're hitting winners from behind the baseline, then you're going to hit more losers. The ratio is going to be terrible. All of the geometry, the shape, the angles are all against you. So from behind the baseline, now you don't need to be negative. You can spar, you can move the opponent around, you can make them work, you can look for spaces, but don't hit winners from behind the baseline. Then we have the second area. And the second area on the court is where I am now, between the service line and the baseline. Now, all over the world, this is traditionally known as no man's land. And I think that's a terrible name for this area of the court. This is a great place to play from. This is where you want to be trying to hit the ball from. But let me explain. It's not no man's land. It's a no waiting zone. You can't wait here. If you wait here, then the ball's going to be very awkward to play. Pretty much you're going to get stuck with half volleys or volleys from crazy positions or whatever. So this is a no waiting zone. You can only come here when the opponent invites you here. But once you're in this position, it defines you as a player. Because from this position, the choice is yours. You can play safe and go back to the baseline. You can attack. You can go for winners. You can go for drop shots. You can go for approach shots. This is the defining area of the tennis court. So the choice is yours in this area. But remember, it's not that no man's land is a bad place to be. It's a great place to be. It's just a no waiting zone that you can't go in there unless your opponent invites you there. And the last area on the court that I want to talk to you about today is when you're taken forwards and are reaching for the short ball. So you're in a rally, the player hits it short and you just lunge for the ball and you're around the service line or sometimes just inside. Here, again, like behind the baseline, you have no choice, but it's the opposite choice. In this area, you have to do something with the ball. Just reaching this ball and playing it safely back into the court is useless. So from this position, you must do something. If you're struggling to reach the ball, then slice it close to the line. Play the drop shot. If you're in good position, then really go for it with speed or into a corner. But from this position, you must go for it. Because winning tennis matches is simply about taking away the other person's time. And from this position here, where you're closer to your opponent, then you have the opportunity to take away their time. But if you don't use it, you get the first go. But if you don't use it, then they will take away your time. And it's very easy for them to play the lob or the pass if you play safe from this area. So those are the three areas I want to talk to you about today. Behind the baseline, traditionally no man's land, and the forecourt. Remember, No winners from behind the baseline. You do what you want from the no waiting zone, no man's land, but get out of there, forwards or back. And in this area of the forecourt, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to go for it. I hope this makes sense. I'd love to know how it works for your game or the players that you coach. For many players, if you're playing somebody where the score's usually 6-3 against you, this can be the difference between winning and losing. I'd love to know how it works for you, and we always reply to every single comment. If you think I can help you more with your game, then remember we do an online coaching service. It's a unique service. The information's in the website below. And if you're at a roadblock and really need to take your game to the next level, have a look at what online coaching can do for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, please. It makes a big difference to us. And if you want to practice this or any other of our ideas, then have a look at our partners, playyourcourt.com. They have a great service sending professional tennis coaches to your area and to your local courts. If you click on the link in the comments section below, then there's a 50% discount off their membership. Thanks for watching today, and see you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.